question for Ohio State. And the last 3 games give some evidence to that. So that leads you to a situation. Joe Burrow, I think you absolutely have to redshirt him. And all the recruiting experts, the coaching staff, every indication is that Burrow is going to be a fantastic option down the road for the Buckeyes. This pipeline is not going dry at quarterback anytime soon. Gibson has a set of skills that could maybe allow him, if he wants, to get on the field somewhere else. He could play that H-back role that a Jalen Marshall or a Dontre Wilson or way back at Florida, Percy Harvin played. He's done things in camps as a receiver that just wowed people. If he wanted to do that, if he is not intent on only being a quarterback, he could play, I think, in different roles as a true freshman. But Burrow, this guy has all the makings of a future starter for Ohio State. Certainly going to be in their best interest to save him for a year. But you look at it, just, 5 really, really touted guys at quarterback. I don't think I've ever seen a depth chart like it, guys.
Yes, I've never seen 5 quarterbacks who have the dynamic skills that Ohio State does, man. And I'm like, man, who's going to actually play? But we'll see. Like I said, Cardale Jones to me is the best option for the Buckeyes going forward. I think Braxton Miller should transfer while he can, and Barrett just wait a year for Cardale to be gone, and maybe he's the man in 16. I think that may be the best plan, Austin.
Yeah, and like I said, you just look at the way it's lined up. You talked about Urban Meyer bringing that SEC recruiting approach. This to me is like what Alabama does on their defensive line. They're rolling through 8, 10, 12 elite prospects. And Nick Saban, of course, is a defensive coach. So in my mind, when I look at it, Urban Meyer is now doing that with his offense. He's an offensive coach. He's a guru of that spread. He's rolled through, whether it's Alex Smith, Tim Tebow, turning Chris Leak into a national championship type quarterback. He is stockpiling just the most amount of talent at quarterback. And in this day and age in college football, and even leaking into the NFL, as you guys know, if you don't have a successful quarterback, it's extremely difficult to win on a consistent basis. Whether it's the rules going that way, the speed of the offense, whatever thing you want to point to, if you don't have a top-notch signal caller, it's going to be tough to win a lot of games. And Urban Meyer seems to really understand that better than most. And just to throw it in there, when we talk about Gibson or Burrow, I was amazed at how quickly he had an answer for recruiting these guys, even though he was so loaded on the depth chart. He really spun it in a way that I wasn't familiar with. Everybody has 3 or 4 quarterbacks on their roster. Don't penalize us because our quarterbacks are good. It was like he's got an answer for everything, and Burrow and Gibson bought into that. They didn't have to. If they wanted an easier, clearer path to play quarterback, they could have gone elsewhere. But to me, that's another example of just how much Urban Meyer has the ball rolling and how successful he is as a salesman, because now he's set up for the next 5-6 years at quarterback, and by the way, he won't stop recruiting them the next 2 years either.
Well, I hear that. Well, Austin, I tell you what, this has been great. If all they come together with you, talk about the Buckeyes, man. We got to do it again real soon after spring practice, buddy.
Hey, I'm always ready, guys.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot. That was Austin Ward, ESPN.com, Ohio State reporter, and Big Ten reporter. Coming up next, U.S. tennis professional Denis Kudla on the Bossman Show from the Memphis Open.
all your photo, video, and voiceover needs, check out the fine folks at Blueberry Productions. They will take good care of you. If you don't believe me, you can see for yourself. Check out their work at blueberryproductions.tv, the Facebook page, Blueberry Productions, also a Vimeo page, a YouTube page, and it's Blueberry, BLUBERRY, Prod on Twitter. Check them out today. Blueberry Productions, great people, great work, great service. Hip-hop fans, I got a great album for you. The debut album from Family Grind ENT, True Speech and 313 Fresh. We're going to give you 2 discs, 33 songs of pure, genuine hip-hop. Albums available on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, illstreetrex.com, and streaming live right now on Rhapsody, Beats Music, Spotify, Xbox Music, Slacker Radio, and SoundCloud. Check them out today. True Speech and 313 Fresh. Family Grind ENT. Believe in it. Get it.
Welcome to the Bossman Show. We're right back here with John Beckler, and we're joined by Denis Kudla, fresh off of victory today, 6-3-6-4 over Covington of Australia. Denis, you qualified for the Memphis Open, man. You got your first victory, and tomorrow you play D.Y. Donald Young. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I've had a great run so far in this tournament, and I'm just looking forward to the next match with Donald Young. We played it's our third year in a row playing here, so we split the wins 1-1, and definitely looking forward to our match.
But Denis, today you were very efficient. You had an effective day. You converted both of your breakpoint opportunities, and you won 62% of second serve points. So what were some of the other keys to you taking care of business out there in that 1 hour, 6-minute match?
Yeah, I felt like today I was able to defend my second serve really well. And when a lot of the rallies, I felt like I was able to win most of them. He's really good from the baseline. He's got a big forehand, and I thought I did a good job with moving him and not letting him set up and really, hit winners left and right, which I know he's capable of doing. And then from there, I just was able to hold my serve, not get broken. And I think he had one breakpoint chance, and he just did a really good job saving that and making a lot of first serves after that.
And Denis, I know me and John are real big on court speed. How's the court playing for you in Memphis?
Yeah, they're one of the faster courts that you play on, but I don't mind the speed. I love when courts are faster. The faster the better for me. So it's pretty much almost a perfect court for me, and I really can't complain.
And as you mentioned earlier, Denis, you played Donald Young in Memphis the last 3 years. You got him 1-1 last year in qualities he got you, and you played multiple times in qualities and challenge events, man. What is it about Donald Young game that they pose challenges for you, and how would you get improving and getting better and you impose yourself on Donald now?
Yeah, I mean, Donald, he's obviously when he was young, everyone thought he was definitely going to be maybe a Grand Slam champion, but he's definitely shown that he can play tennis with anybody. He's one of the faster guys on tour. Just being lefty makes it difficult on everybody. He's really crafty, really doesn't have any holes in his game. I definitely have not the greatest record against him. I think I'm 1-5. I think he's beaten me on every surface. So last year was definitely a big stepping stone to beat him once, to know that I was able to do it. But in order to beat him tomorrow, I'm definitely going to have to play well. I'm going to have to execute my game plan exactly the way I need to. And it's going to be definitely a difficult match, pretty physical. And hopefully, things go my way.
Well, Denis, coming back from mono forced you to miss the summer hardcourt swing and the U.S. Open. Did the time away fuel your drive and mental approach by allowing you to take a step back, maybe evaluate your game, apply tactics to raise your game and rise up the ATP rankings, kind of the way James Blake did during his prolonged absence a few years ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, to have mono in the first place was pretty difficult. Actually, when I heard the news the first time, I didn't believe it. And then it kind of hit me about 3 days later. And if anyone has ever had mono, it's pretty brutal. So, yeah, after that, I was able to kind of reevaluate my game. I knew there was a lot of work to be done to get back in shape because you always have that fear of a potential relapse. But luckily I didn't have that. I did everything I needed to do to recover 100%. Maybe it took 6 or 7 matches to kind of get the confidence back. Now that I feel like maybe 6 months after I started playing, I'm pretty happy with where my game is right now. And now it's just kind of move forward. I've been on tour for about 4 years and kind of taking the next step and kind of solidifying my ranking to the top 100 and hopefully maybe the top 50.
And yeah, Denis, I feel like you can definitely do it, man, since you have no points to defend after Wimbledon this year. So I think you can definitely do it, Denis. And I watched you play in Australia. I know it was a long match for you against Lopez. How was it playing against that guy in Australia? And did that give you, even though you lost that match in 5 long sets, first I want to ask you, you think this should be a 5th-set tiebreaker, first of all, as John McEnroe already talks about? And secondly, how did that match give you confidence to go forward and say, I'm back, I'm okay, because I keep working off this rust, and I'll be all right going forward?
Yeah, I mean, definitely that match, I had obviously positives and negatives to it. It was obviously a heartbreak in the first place. The first thing that came to my mind was, how did I lose that match? I had it right. I was 1 point away, 3 match points. But, after I had some time to cool off, definitely evaluated it all, and I was happy with the way I was able to sustain my level for so long against, a high-quality player like Lopez. And it would definitely have a kind of thing in the back of your mind, I'm back. I've recovered. I've gotten to the shape I need to be in to play with the top guys, and now I don't have to worry about, am I still in shape? Am I potentially still sick? I can get that out of my head and not really just worry about improving my game every single day. So that match definitely had a lot more positives than negatives, I think.
Yes, and Denis, I want to ask you this, man. Denis, I'm going to tell you full disclosure, man, Memphis is one of me and John's favorite stops, whether it be covering the NBA, covering college ball. So, man, what's your favorite thing about the Memphis and the Memphis Open? What about the city keeps bringing you back each year?
Yeah, I just love Memphis because, one, the food, the barbecue, can't beat it. It's pretty incredible. But it's just something, I'm somewhere I'm comfortable. I don't know, I'm from Virginia. It's not too far. I've been here, it's my 4th year here. Everything's really easy. You don't really feel like you're on the road being from the States and having to travel all year. You really start to enjoy the U.S. tournaments a lot more. And the people are great. They run the tournament pretty well. And there's not really a bad thing to say about it.
Well, Denis, we know you're a DMV guy. Your Wizards are sitting pretty in the Eastern Conference right now. Are you thinking this is the year they make a run for it with Wall and Beal running the show?
Yeah, I hope so. They're looking really good. I'm loving the record. They're 3rd in the East. It's pretty cool to see. I mean, DC, we haven't had a championship since '92, and that was the Redskins. And it's hard to believe it. The Redskins are the last team to win. They're probably our worst DC team. But it's great to see. And hopefully these young guys, they can step up in playoffs and really make a push. And it's not this year, and they can keep it up and do the season again. I think maybe even next year could be the year. But this year could be tough, even though they won a round last year. And then they lost in 7 or 6. I don't remember. But, yeah, hopefully if they get to the final, it's experience would be tough because none of them really have it. But I do think they have the ability to win.
Yeah, Denis, I know you're a popular Redskins guy, and I'm a Cowboy guy, man. Every time we play you all hurt my quarterback, Romo, man. Every year is something. His back injury is attributed to the Redskins, man. But you guys have RG3, Kirk Cousins, and Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
Who do you think will end up being the quarterback next year? Think RG3 bounces back, or type of Jay Gruden to get rid of the guy and find somebody else?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I can't say I love RG3. I think he just doesn't play the right stock. He'd be a little too fragile. I like the way Cousins was playing in some games. So but it's hard to not put RG3 if he's healthy, just because